Hello, and thanks so much for watching. The Trump administration is ending Operation Metro Surge, the controversial immigration crackdown in Minneapolis that drew some harsh scrutiny and mass protests. Border Czar Tom Homan said the decision was made because of the success in removing public safety threats during the operation. Homan also emphasized the end of operations in Minneapolis does not mean the administration is walking away from its broader immigration goals.
Record number of arrests and deportations under President Trump's first year, and we'll continue that effort. Prioritizing public safety threats and national security threats doesn't mean we'll forget about everybody else. We will take action on everybody else.
Local officials are celebrating the news after pushing for weeks now for federal agents to leave the state. You'll recall 2 Minnesota residents there were killed by immigration agents during the nearly 2-month-long operation, sparking widespread protests. Governor Tim Walz today saying while he's optimistic about the future, he's also focused on rebuilding the community.
They left us with deep damage, generational trauma. They left us with economic ruin in some cases. They left us with many unanswered questions. Where are our children? Where and what is the process of the investigations into those that were responsible for the deaths of Renee and Alex?
CBS News immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins me now with more on this. You know, there's so much to dissect here, but I just want to start with talking about the timing here, Camilo. I mean, why did we see this happen now? And what does the government say that it actually accomplished there?
Well, Trump administration Border Czar Chanel is arguing publicly that that massive federal operation that was the largest in the history of the Department of Homeland Security in the Minneapolis region is effectively no longer needed because local officials at the state, county, and local level are more fully and comprehensively working with ICE and Border Patrol, mainly by allowing local jail officials to transfer non-citizen inmates to ICE custody so they can be processed for deportation if they're in the country illegally, in addition to being accused of local crimes. That was the argument from the beginning, that the administration had to send thousands of ICE and Border Patrol agents onto the streets of Minneapolis and surrounding communities like St. Paul because local officials were not cooperating with the agency and letting criminals roam free, essentially. That was the argument. He also said that there has been a significant reduction in cases of agitators, as he calls them, interfering or impeding with ICE's work. But make no mistake, there's also a political motivation here. The administration has been facing intensifying and escalating backlash, especially after the killings of Minneapolis residents Renee Good and Alex Preddy. And in many ways, it's a recognition that the operation was becoming politically toxic.
Right. And speaking of some of that pressure, we know that the heads of ICE, CBP, and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, they were all on Capitol Hill testifying to the Senate Homeland Security Committee. We know that that was happening today. So what did they say there? And how does that factor into this announcement that happened before that?
It's a good question. For example, specifically Todd Lyons, the head of ICE, said that he is trying to hold his agents accountable if they are indeed alleged to have violated internal policy or have engaged in misconduct, because, of course, the tactics and the conduct of federal agents, especially at ICE, has come under scrutiny, especially by Democratic officials, and especially in places like Minneapolis, led by Democrats. And Lyons said that over the past year, his agency has opened 37 investigations into potential excessive force by ICE officers. That's the first time he actually gave that number. He said 18 cases have been closed, so no misconduct was found. 19 cases are still being investigated, and 1 case has been referred to what he called further action. So he is trying to project to the American public and obviously lawmakers there that his agency is trying to hold agents accountable if they engage in misconduct.
Okay, got it. Camilo, thank you so much.